Hello, hello, and welcome along to the inaugural episode 50 of Beldania. Making it this far is an impressive feat due to my excellent players. Those include today Rico,
Yes, I am Rico, and I'm playing Torin Goldenbrand, the Dragonborn Paladin.
Bruno,
Hello, I'm playing Rosa, Circle of Stars Druid.
Jamel,
Hi guys, it's Jamal here. Gonna be playing Kiavo Duskmane, our Order of the Scribes Leonin Wizard.
Josh,
Hi, I'm Josh. I will be playing Sebastian Belmont, the Abjuration Wizard.
and Joe.
Yeah, I'm Joe, and I'm playing Hennick Littlefield, the Halfling Farmer and Bard.
Oh, excuse me. You are. In the previous sessions, I guess, for a minor recap, after visiting various Way of the Past, we returned to the city of Lorvalon, where we discovered the twins and the Lagon twins, children of Duke Lagon, who has gone missing up in the mountains near Eladar, apparently attacked by his own men. The Lagon twins have taken power. We found out that they're being a bit mean, but according to them, it was all in the spirit of doing what's best for the city. They were very nice to you, very welcoming. And next to them was an assassin that you know to have killed an entire garrison of men, and a nasty, corrupted druid wizard who was randomly transformed into something new with a piece of. Having established that, you guys sort of chilled for a little bit, and then had a chat with the Chancellor and headed out of, I think, or at least headed out of the building. And in the city of Lorvalon is where we will pick up.
Well, I think after that we did go. I think it was after that. It wasn't that we went and talked to the king and the queen and gave them some medicine.
Yep. The
Mhm.
king
Yeah.
and the queen and the fixie. I forgot. I've left that out. I apologise.
But
I did
yeah,
have
no,
them.
I still don't know what we did after that. Nothing, I guess.
Yeah, if I remember
Um,
correctly, we couldn't really fix the problem with them, right? Wasn't it?
Yeah.
Like they were still deteriorating, and so they'll continue for as long. Well, they'll still continue to deteriorate, but they'll be sustained right for as long as they've got those potions.
Yeah.
Exhaustion is being managed by potions, but their lack of willpower to do anything and their withering feeling.
And the aging, I guess, right? That was the other thing, right?
Yes, they were aging internally, but not externally.
Yeah. Yeah, it's. I don't think we can do anything about that, really, can we? Like, at least not us right now.
No, I think that's something for the future or for someone else to handle, but which is unfortunate. But I mean, we do. I think I have the sense of y'all that we would like to see these twins not in charge of the situation anymore, and we know, whisper, 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 that there is someone else to take back the reins. But
Well, then we
I
should
don't
go
know,
and get Leon ourselves then.
well, perhaps maybe we just need to get us a more solid answer to the question, because some of those folk at the Velvet Glove had previously decided, or sort of indicated, I think it was there, that just him turning up might not be enough. Maybe it would. Maybe that was too quick a speaking. I don't know. But I'd like to see what someone meant by that before we just go get him, since we do have partners working on that.
Well, surely these people are unhappy. And perhaps we go around and see what news we can stir up. What news of this? What word of Lagon's following?
I mean, we could sure sit in on any number of places and just sort of get the sense of the people here. It's going to be, I'm sure, somewhat hidden if they're afraid.
We could go visit that woman and her son that we helped before. they were pretty common as dirt. They might know what what the feel is around here.
Are you referring to the goat woman who you helped secure her inheritance?
No, I'm talking about the kid I almost destroyed his brain with a mind sliver.
Was the goat woman here or in Harbon?
No,
I think the
yeah,
goat
she
woman
was
in
in
Harbon,
Harbon.
you're right.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was
I think he's-
Torrent's inheritance. No, you're referring to, yes, when you were dealing with the Red X's.
Yeah,
Yes.
that was the one of the Red X's.
Yeah, Mrs. Flatfish
I was going to say the
and her
vampires, but
son.
that might not have been related to that.
No, Mrs. Flatfish and her son.
Yeah.
Help. Yeah, I mean, obviously you do know a few more people than that in the town. I mean, even if it's just shopkeepers.
Hmm. That does. I'm wondering though. It was the Dwarven King that you contacted, right? When it came to retrieving the Duke, right?
Correct?
Mm-hmm. Correct. And then also Rosa had her people looking into it, her circle looking into it.
So, I wonder how goes their expedition.
You
to
checked in
find-
on Lagon at the end of last session, so you know he hasn't been found.
Right. And there's still a lot to cover, so I guess we could just leave them to what they're doing for the time being. I guess what I should do though is I'll put out the ball. Just do a quick check-in. I won't even send him a message, but I'll at least observe, check in on the Duke, see if he's
He's
doing
still
fine.
in the same tent with the same elf on the same mountain, middle of nowhere.
And he's
with
still well.
nobody else.
Fantastic. Okay,
He's
all I
not
needed.
dead. Well is a really, really strong word for his condition, but he's not dead.
Sure. Gotcha. Right, good. Very well. No unexpected developments then. All is well.
Hmm.
So,
to
what
do
are we
then?
thinking? Would we like to investigate, see what the mood is on the ground here in terms of the return of the Duke, or would we like to go somewhere else? Because we have plenty of options.
A little bit of both, maybe?
Well, why don't we go ask around here before we leave?
Something's gone wrong. Sebastian's being too practical.
yeah, yeah, this is a dangerous predicament.
This isn't Sebastian talking, this is Josh talking.
That's how you know it hasn't all gone tits up. That sounds like a sensible idea.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
in for it.
I mean, we can simply return first to the Velvet Glove since it's nearby, and just get see exactly what they meant there, and then I don't know, go to maybe a couple of temples or taverns or something. So, being as it's nearby and his legs are shorter, Hennick will start heading off down the block to the Velvet Glove.
Work out why that. There we go. Yeah, you head over to the Velvet Glove. There you have notebook out. Got this. I know there's a red-headed elf there who likes you quite a lot.
That's fine.
There we go. Yes. You arrive. Melian, Rihanna, and Crane. Call her Dana because I lost her name. Yeah. You arrive and Jalissa. There we go. Good find her. We should say something. Yeah. They're sort of going about their way. If you remember, so the Velvet Glove is sort of a little bit like a loungy tavern. With various rooms for private meetings and conversations. It's a meeting place. There's often a bard or two playing there. It's very well to do, but more than anything, it's gated by a series of guards and diplomatic ways of stopping you from going any further, whether it's doors or velvet curtains. But as you arrive, you are greeted by Rihanna, who's on the front desk, and she's up and how went your meeting with the royals?
Oh, well, they're going to be in a bit better health for a time, but no major solutions there, unfortunately. Well enough, I suppose. I think as well as we imagined it could.
I'm seeking information on disrupting the city.
Yeah, just some clarification before we set off on any particular direction.
I think Crane's probably the best person to speak to. He's just in a extended meeting. I'm sure he'll be out soon. I'll take a seat.
That's fine.
Gestures over to him. So if you remember, Crane was a very tall, very muscular elf. And you can see that in the past he's Rena. Recognize. And yeah, you wait for about half an hour, 45 minutes. You're served ice fruit, very light watered fruit wine, and there is water and ale. And after about 20 minutes, somebody comes over with a platter of fruit. Puts that out, realizing that you might be waiting a while. After about 45 minutes, a door along the corridor opens, and a very flustered woman, hair her back and some ties still left in it. She has a cloak wrapped around what looks to be an evening gown. It's about 3:30 in the afternoon. And she sort of trots past you and he hurries out the door. And after a moment, Crane emerges from the same room. He's also looking a tiny bit disheveled, though it does look like he's made a bit more effort to make himself presentable. He's sort of, good day. You're not waiting for me, are you?
Well, I believe we are, actually.
Oh, I'm ever so sorry. I was trying to get some information out of the woman, but she's ever so resistant. Shall we? Perhaps not that chamber. Yes, Heal chamber. Let's upstairs, I think. He'll sort of glance around, pop over to the desk, have a quick word with Rihanna, and then he whispers quietly to a serving girl, and heads upstairs. And the serving girl brings the platter and all the drinks and all your glasses, bit by bit with a couple of others, quickly laying out the room lavishly. First together.
Oh, this is all too much, but thank you.
As stated before, the comforts are for me, and for us, we work hard for them. But you're more than welcome to partake. And he takes a long chug on his summer wine. Well, so, what can I do for you?
Well, I know we've spoken about some of this before, but as we're actually trying to think about what we want to do, we've been given the impression at some point along the way here that even if this guy knows, we told everybody here, and they told each other that Lagon exists, right? Yeah, that even if the Duke is returned, that there could be difficulty reinstalling him in charge of the city here. We're trying to gauge exactly what that difficulty is, so we might be able to help with it in some way.
Yes, pressure points. There is a resistance right now. That's what they call themselves. Or original, they call themselves the Resistance. Varying groups, mostly made up of overtaxed workers, the common folk. They do the typical resistance-y sort of things, writing things on the walls of the Lagon estates, trying to disrupt work within the city. But there's a fair few of them. You could convert them to a force. They meet Niall Zephran's house. That in chat, so Niall Zephran's house. And he is based up in here. A relatively good part of the district, not lavish, but the houses are of decent quality. It's your workers' district. Very working class. So they're the resistance. They're the ones that are on our side. Beyond that, everybody else is either on the side of the twins, because people like the mages, the merchants guild, The Merchant Guild, the Adventurers Guild, the Arena, they've all benefited greatly. The rich are richer and the poor are poorer at the moment. So they would be a little unhappy, perhaps, to see their reign curtailed. Duke returning. Though there may be some sympathizers within those guilds. Or existential places like the Mystic Eye, the Rangers Guild. They might they're a little bit more neutral. The Collector's Enclave could be a good ally if they didn't have the niece. Was interacted. One of their key points of power is the arena. If you could shut down some of them. Definitely weaken their grip on the common folk, how they keep them all appeased. Violence that takes place there. That being said, you could also speak to the temples. Leaders of the temples would be a large voice telling the true leader. I think they're quite appalled by some of the actions taken. Getting the steward out of keep be incredibly helpful. Good Justin, strong voice, people. He's been rather. We've only seen him in the Lagon Estates.
Yeah, he's unable to leave. It would seem. Unable on his own. There's some sort of enchantment on him to prevent him from leaving. And even if we were to take him out, the suggestion is that masked mage would return him quite quickly.
Unless he can't find him, of course.
Well, obviously, and it could also keep that mage busy at certain points.
I think sort of. He makes a gesture and there's no sound, but momentarily a serving go. Could you ask Rihanna for one of the necklaces? He goes off. After a while, brings back a necklace, protection against divination, which might help. You guys could, I think 2 of you could probably cast this quite easily anyway. But non-detection, amulet of non. Perhaps if you do manage to get the steward out, you could. There's also the Silver Sword. A few members of the Silver Sword would definitely be willing to, in our favor. And then, yeah, you could go and speak to other members of the guilds, but well, that's the thinking. Main pressure points. As for the points of strength for the Lagons, apart from the arena. They have a man. Nasty piece of bully. He is Torgros. Torgros. He is quite easily identified as he is huge. He is almost 8 foot tall. And he's was known in the arena as the Beast. Does to people, ripping them apart limb for limb in the arena. He no longer does that. Instead, he enforces Dagon's view out in the common folk. The Harbour Master is a problem as well. He was replaced. I believe his predecessor, Alexander, is still working. Restoring him to power could be a great move. It's as many things as I can think of. Could of course go for the typical disruptions as well. Shutting down trade, preventing exit or entrance to the city. That's when the city is in turmoil, and the arrival of the Duke releases people from that turmoil. It will be seen as Duke's work.
That's a good point. I guess I have a couple of questions. One would be, how much does all of this need to be, any of these sort of things, not all of it, but and a few of them need to be done sort of all at once kind of thing? If we take out this harbor master, get him sent away or something like that, is that's just going to raise suspicion or cause problems, or he'll be replaced by the twins almost immediately if we're working on something else? and that sort of falls for all those issues. I mean, keep Torgoros busy, but what does that do if it just lets them know that there's trouble?
I think,
What do you think?
when it comes to the time, you will definitely be telling the twins that there's trouble. We can do our best to muddy the ground so that they slip and fall on their way here, but the biggest problem you have right now is you don't have a date. You know when the
Right.
Duke is returning, then I would say perhaps a week in advance start to make things difficult. Trouble, and then increase that and increase that and increase that until the return of the Duke.
I see. That is very specific. I appreciate that. So we may not be ready to do these things yet, but if I know my companions here, I would like to follow up about what we would want to do at the arena. What needs to be disrupted there exactly?
Yeah, how would we go so far as to shut this thing down?
Or is that what we're trying to do? Just shut it down so people are pissed off?
I would say that stopping what they're doing at the arena would be far harder than just stopping. That being said, there is a large collection of prisoners who are in blocks with the arena, being used as... Freeing them would go a long way towards annoying some people and meeting others. They would...
Does it up? Oh, sorry.
They would
Thought
fight
you
for you with
finished.
no qualms. Been down there a while now.
Does it operate during the night?
The arena fights between sort of 3 p.m. and 9 p.m. They don't have artificial lighting in there, so when it gets dark, there's no point.
Hennig. This
Yeah.
might be a crazy idea, so tell me if it is. But I did notice you have a decanter of endless water.
I do, yeah.
Would we be able to flood the arena during the night so that it prevented it opening during the day?
Well, I think the mathematics on that one are beyond me.
Just to remind you, it is made of sort of like... We're very oldie worldy here, so you've got like sort of wooden scaled benches going up. Obviously down below you have all the places where people are kept. If you were to just endlessly flood it, I think you'd flood the streets, and the people who were underneath the arena would drown.
Drown the prisoners.
Yeah, I think that's what... I mean, I'm not 100% certain how that would work. You might have ways of like sealing the ground at the arena, or maybe even like sealing the seating areas. But if the water is allowed to just continue flowing down, you're going to flood bits of the city, and
We could drop water endlessly over a course of months into like the wooden structure of the arena until it just like crumbles and like is destroyed.
I have no doubt I could convince some termites to move in.
Yeah.
Wet rot. Oh my days.
You think
that would
that,
be...
you think if you want to just make the arena unusable, fire and Torin with an axe would be far more effective than a decanter of endless water.
Oh, I could
Oh,
also
noted.
summon
So-
like 8 bears into the arena to just destroy it.
Be quite a
Like with
spectacle.
Torin. Do you want to ride 8 bears and destroy the arena?
I know that I would have to ride them, but I
think
would aid
it's-
them valiantly.
I can summon you lions so you can feel like Yava's with you.
Ooh.
You can see that Crane is sort of shaking his head.
Not
And he
the
just
same.
goes, "How are you wield his?
We're using
Yeah,
it
I'm not
so
so-
Please
good.
don't summon any lions here."
I'm not so sure we all know what exactly to do with this power just yet, but
No, that is evident.
I've just
This
proposed
all-
2 different plans.
Yes, indeed.
So sorry, clarify something for me here. This Torgros fellow, he works
Okay.
for the...
Torgros works for the Lagons, and he basically... So you see in all the districts, like around the edge, is like the
Oh,
common
okay,
work.
sorry. I thought he was related to the... I thought he was related to the arena somehow.
No, he basically he makes their life a misery.
No, he's like the strong man.
All
he
of
used
the
to be a
common
champion
folk, he's
in the arena.
Yes,
He used to be a
He used to
champion
be a
in the
champion in the arena. He tears people limb from
Okay.
limb.
We could get rid of him and make it look like it was an accident.
Well, yeah, I think that makes some kind of sense. Or there are plenty of ways to deal with one random guy who's wandering around the city and make it not look like it was foul play. He gets ill or something like that.
Ooh, like ill through rats?
Ooh,
Like we give him plague rats?
that would be
Diseases?
pretty gnarly, actually.
Is that
Is
what
that
you'd
something
like?
you can
Henry?
summon? Rats
Release them
specifically
under
with
his
the plague?
house.
I could summon. It would be a 2-step plan.
You have to summon the fleas first.
Yeah.
To summon the bacterium and then summon the flea.
Yeah. I need some help.
We don't know
There's-
any of that.
You know, if he's that cruel of a person, I don't know. We could just send him to another realm, the one where people aren't alive.
It's not
Okay, well,
An assassination here, a promotion there, and we're rolling.
we could always watch him for a time and find out something plausible. Maybe the man's likes his drink, and we can just lock him in a closet somewhere and tell everybody he's on a bender. I don't know. There's all sorts
a
of
good
ideas.
The level of difference between send him to another realm and just put him in a closet.
Or we could put him in a closet and flood the closet.
Hey, the closet could be a portal to another realm. Henrik doesn't need to know.
So, I've had a thought. Considering that this guy was an arena champion, he is somebody that could quite literally be described as legendary. Yes, for his arena feats.
No.
Oh.
He's known in terms of like he's an asshole. Yeah,
The biggest asshole.
He wasn't that valiant in the arena. He just tore apart people who weren't very powerful.
Can ask the rats.
Did we tell this guy about the twins asking us to see the Duke of Harbondon?
Can do if you want.
Yeah, let's maybe fill him in on that. I see what he has to say. Like, does he think that the Duke could be helpful to us in any way?
Oh, no, that does seem very much a legitimate concern. We have heard of this as well. Perhaps the twins think if you're doing something good but nowhere near here, be out of their way.
That makes sense.
All
Okay,
the
so
problems would definitely consume you for a few weeks.
could we do then a quick recap of our action plan? Because I feel like it's got a few variables since last time. So when does Lord Lagon arrive? It's in 4 days?
You have
We
no
don't have any
idea. He
idea.
hasn't been found.
We have no idea yet. Yeah,
Screw this, I'm gonna find him myself, because these people in my circle are taking far too long. Can we
Yes.
travel there?
Search the mountains. Why is it taking you more than 3 days, damn it?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's well, I don't mean being a character for that. Like, it's like sure, if we knew that we could specifically speed this along, like, I don't know, like how if we have the slightest idea how long it'll be without us versus with us, right? Either way, yeah, like the suffering of the people of this town goes longer, and that's a problem. But like, really, what matters is knowing when he's coming, and like that, the specificity of that, like, doesn't necessarily require us to do the finding.
Yeah, no. I mean, you can most definitely engineer how long the days are before he turns up once he's found, right? Because
Right.
you could say to him, "Give us 6 days to engineer your return, and
Right.
we'll make it happen." You know, that sort of thing.
But like, I don't know if we think like, well, right now it's probably going to be a month before he can get back here, so we should go to Harbondon in the meantime, or if it's, you know, they're going to find him one day from now, and then it only takes 4 days to get back from the mountains. Like,
So the Circle of Druids, I will tell you for free, have sent 3 druids.
sure.
There are 3 druids who are capable of flying, but find it quite difficult to see.
Are they?
because
Are
of the
these
snow.
druids as capable as Rosa, or are they? Like,
Yes, but
like
they're on their own,
apprentices?
right? They're not as powerful
Okay.
as Rosa, but they're powerful. But they are on their own, and it's snowy and it's windy, and he's somewhere here, right? Just a reminder, that's like 100
Sorry.
square miles, right? So
It's a lot of ground to cover.
it's a lot of ground to cover. They don't know how high up he is. They don't know, you know, there's lots of mountains that are very difficult to see through. Some of them are beneath the cloud, some of them are above the cloud. Obviously, joining in will speed it up. Obviously. That's goes without saying. You've got a lot of very powerful tools. If you want the Duke found quickly, then you joining in would be of assistance. That being said, he will get found. You know, they will find him. Don't know how long. Like, it definitely isn't going to take 3 days, which is how long it's been. I know it feels like a long time because it's been 6 weeks in hard time. But it's only been 3 days since people went out to look for the Duke, right?
So it could be weeks, it could be a couple
Those
of
that
months.
set out... No, you would assume within a week or two they would find him. Those that set out on foot from Eladar know the hills well, and there's lots of people. Right? They've got the scouts looking for him, you know. They will find him eventually. It's just... You know, it's
What
not
is
gonna be 3
our-
days.
I mean, we've traveled up there, and we've also seen the Duke in scrying, right? So,
Yeah.
between any need he might have for recovery and the travel time, like once he's found, how long till he would be ready to take back the city to
You
return
could-
to Lorvale?
You could theoretically bop a large heal on him and teleport him instantly, and that
Okay, sure, yeah.
right.
Right.
If you were with him, then
If we're there, right?
12
right.
hours. If you're
Right.
not with him, then it might take. The journey from Eladar down to Lorvalen by boat is only 2 days. Obviously,
I mean, the man's
depending
also
on where
been
he's
trapped in
found,
the.
Got to get him back to Eladar, maybe recover him a little bit. Yeah, I mean,
I was gonna say he needs some recovery time too, right?
at
He's been
least
like
7
in the
days from when
mountains
you
for-
get him to Eladar to when you bring him.
But also, if the druids find him and they can grow a simple sapling there, I can just go there, grab him, and come back.
Don't you have
That's
to
true.
touch the?
It must have seen or touched the destination plant,
Yeah, so does them putting the plant up help you?
because then we can scry and I can see it.
Oh, I see. Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Oh, yeah, okay. I get that, yeah.
You guys have
Big
the ability to
brain-
get there and back
big
very
brain
quickly, very easily anyway as a group. Yeah, it's just a case of what do you want to be involved in? You know, do you want to wait until you've heard news of the Duke and then immediately come back to Lorvalen and start getting Lorvalen ready? Do you want to go to Eladar and find the Duke? Or do you want to start like doing little tiny things in Lorvalen and wait till you've got news? And when you've got bigger news, bigger things.
Well, it sounds like the things in town should be done in the week between. I mean, we don't need to overkill it and try to do tiny things now just because there's enough other stuff demanding our time. So then the question is, as you were saying, between those first two options, go to Harbond in the meantime and let our allies take care of finding the Duke, or go help the Duke, or help find him. But if we do that, I guess my question is, what abilities does anybody have to help find him?
You guys have so much.
Torn, big and strong.
Well, sure. Just run. Just a crazy search grid at 100 miles an hour.
Do you not have anything beyond that? Probably have
have,
some
like-
cool paladin shit now.
Yeah, I have some cool paladin shit. Hold on.
I can make myself
No,
10
actually,
feet
that's pretty
faster
much it.
around.
I mean, I have a horse. I ride a big horse
You do have a
around.
very, very good horse.
Yeah.
I do not have anything like
I don't have
Literally-
anything.
divine sense, I guess. You can fly, Josh. I think that,
Yeah.
that counts as something.
Sure, but I can't like divine or anything.
No.
I mean, so I can commune once a day. I can sort of go
And-
like
In
Is
another
he-
world, I'll be able to fly.
more to the east of us than or that kind of thing. But
I believe
I guess your nose aren't
between you guys,
perfect.
you also have the ability to speak to plants and animals, right?
Yeah,
True.
I could also summon like 8 wolves to do like tracking.
They can send animals to track.
I mean, like Roseanne, yeah, I think would
So
be
with
the most
animals?
equipped person to
Oh,
find someone in the wilderness.
maybe. Gavo has like,
True.
and of course the scrying orb, which is your primary tool.
Yeah, with the scoring orb at the very least, I'd be able to examine the area constantly.
And I don't want to play
get
your
more
characters
details.
for you, but there are definitely some things you guys are not thinking of, such as your ability to affect a large area, or you know, make big things happen like in the sky and stuff, and then see if you can see them.
How would
Oh yeah,
Skywrite
wow, that's
help?
something. Yeah, that's something I've not
Oh.
used.
All
I've
sorts of
had the
things like
ability to
that,
do
right?
that.
I've got a spell called Find the Path. I can.
Yeah,
Let me just
that one
quickly check.
works quite well. You
We
have to
can
know
just-
your
Yeah, we
destination.
have it
to
for
find
our
the
armor.
path.
Yeah, I have it on my armor. Exactly. I was gonna
If
say.
you name a destination, a destination, your fixed location that you're familiar with, would that trigger it?
Well, you're not familiar with it, nor is it a fixed destination.
Okay.
once we
But,
find him, we can get back
yeah.
to Eladar easy or something. But
Well, no, I mean it can also be used, for example, if you know you're on the same mountain, right? And that then you might be able to find the path to that area you've seen in the scrying. But
Right.
you need to know where that area is in terms of the world, right? I don't think this 200 wide mountain range is counts as an area you're familiar with. But yeah, I mean, you've got tons of tools, right? Not to mention, you can also help others to be more powerful, right? See through their eyes, see what they've seen.
So do you guys want to pop in there and then like we can ask my druid friends to give us a ride back?
Teleport back instant.
Yeah, but I might be tired.
Not you, Calvo.
Oh, go ahead.
Teleports you to the boat, right?
Oh, true. True. Oh, the boat.
The boat's not very useful in the mountains. Back to it.
That's true.
Should we?
Who would know how urgent the Harbondan issues are? Anybody got a thought on that?
I love the glove.
if we were to...
He can sort of look at you and.
Well, okay, sure. Right.
He said, the issues are very important. The problem is that they're all up and down the border. It's not just the Duke. As far as we can tell, it's not necessarily the Duke giving the order. It's that he's not punishing those who are going against it. So it's all of the soldiers who are stationed all the way along the border who are taking revenge for Axtru. So you'd have to sort of work your way up and down. I'm more than happy for you guys to do that, but you would know that this is being given to you as a distraction job.
Sure, yeah.
To get you out of the way.
Yeah.
That being said, if you fancy visiting Mil McCorrick, things to do there.
All right, well, how do we get ourselves to the mountains?
You can teleport from the Mages Guild in Norvalin to Eladar.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Is there anything
Sounds
that,
fun to me.
yeah, is
That
there anything
sounds
that we want to
fun.
tie
Yeah,
up
that sounds
before we head there? Any shopping anyone needs to do? No, everything's good.
I mean, I would appreciate just taking a rest so I could rearrange my spells.
Yeah. You guys can have a long rest.
Thank you.
Take this time to make some potions while I'm at it as well, if I can.
Swap some shit out.
Kind of potions. I'll take some
Okay,
potions.
Go ahead and give me your. What are you making?
Actually, that's a very, very fucking good question because I've got so many ingredients
Okay.
and I.
You think about that. Who was doing other things?
I'm just swapping spells.
Buy something.
Where's the shop list? Hold on. There was something that I saw the other day.
Merchant Stores of Lorvalon.
That's what it's called.
You
Merchant.
should be able to find it by going to your Google Sheets.
Yeah. Yes.
Now, you guys are going to want to go to Eladar, so let me go get an. Have we been to the outside of Eladar before?
No, I don't think we've ever been.
I think we were on the outside.
Oh no, yeah, we were.
You went shopping there, right?
Yeah,
I'm
like
sure
the
I had a really cool picture of it.
barbarian tribes have their little market, I think, outside the doors.
Yes, they do. They do. I thought I had an image of it, but I don't know. I've got so many images, it's untrue.
I don't have anything. I mean, I'm looking around as well as anybody, but I don't have any specific idea of things that we need to buy. But like, remember that I have a bunch of money, so if you just like, I don't know, spell components for fancy things we don't usually use or something like that, let me know, and then we'll ask Glorious Leader here what things actually cost in this world.
Well, with the merchant store of Alan, the document is correct, I believe.
Oh, sure, right, yeah. But I mean, in terms
Get a rope
like,
of mending. Let's get a rope of mending for 5 gold. I'll take that off. I'll put it on my thing and take off the 5 gold.
Okay. Okay. But I mean, like, if you need, like, I don't know, diamonds for Revivify kind of bullshit.
Yeah.
I don't know what those really go for.
Alexa, stop.
Good old Alexa.
Yeah. So apart from a rope of mending, are you buying anything else? Still deciding.
I'm still deciding. Sorry.
Okay. What are you making?
So the biggest problem that I've got is I've got so many ingredients, and I'm not sure which ones I can actually make because I've got a list of things if I can make them that could be quite beneficial.
Okay, bear with me a second.
So-
Bear with me a second. Oh, shoot.
Right, because otherwise I'll just be spitting out potions, and you'd be telling me, "Nope, you can't make that."
Potions that you can make are there. Evidently, should you want instead to make poison, bombs, or stuff like that. That help?
Right, thanks. Yeah, that's enough. I'm just looking through right now.
Long ago, I bought a piece of quartz in the desert
Mm-hmm.
that's supposed to do something, but I can't remember what. Like I was, I'll be able to use this in the future, but I have no idea what it could
I
do.
couldn't tell you.
Yeah, I know.
I thought you made a custom item at the time, though.
No, I think I couldn't, unless I was like, well, maybe I can afford to do it now or whatever.
I made a random ring out of a jewel that we bought in the desert in Alien.
Yes, you
Right.
did. I remember that.
For the fashions.
I'll figure it out for the future. I can go back to the episodes.
I can't figure out what it was, but I'll take that rope of mending. Yeah.
Okay, nothing else?
No.
Right, okay,
Yeah.
I've got the potions I'd like
What
to
are you
be making
making?
here. I would like to try to make some cold resistance potions from chromium slime and arctic creeper. That could be quite.
Okay, do you have
Good,
those
considering I-
materials?
Yeah, I've got chromium slime and arctic creeper. Yep.
Okay, for each 0.1 pounds of each that you have, or if you've instead added them as single units, then each one weighs 0.1 pounds. Give me an alchemy check. What's
Right,
your current alchemy level? 4, is it?
It's giving me a +5.
Oh no, that's irrelevant. The alchemy level. What are
Right,
those?
in
other.
notes that's 4.
Okay, cool. Yeah, proceed.
Right. So, just checking my rituals here.
I'll take this moment to say thank you very much to Stormy Dragon Tavern for the raid. Hello and welcome into Alice Shortcake. I'm sorry. Obviously, lots of things going on. But I might as well interrupt my players when they don't know what I'm rolling.
Yep.
Are you ready? Alchemy roll for each time you combine those 2 ingredients.
Yep. I would like to use my ancient knowledge thing, and I've also got my feat thing, so I should be able to roll with advantage if I take the time for
Ancient knowledge does what?
it. If I'm making a knowledge roll, which alchemy is going to be a knowledge roll for this as well, right? Add a d6 to it.
It's not a knowledge roll.
Okay, never mind then. It's skill one then. Right. Okay.
Yes,
so
it's a
won't
skill
work that.
check. It's your skill at alchemy. It's not your knowledge of alchemy. If you're trying to learn
That's
alchemy, then
reasonable.
you can make a knowledge check. But yeah,
Sure.
I
Gotcha.
can't ask you for a knowledge check to use thieves' tools either.
No, that's absolutely fair.
Okay.
No,
But you
gotcha.
do have magecraft. Is that what you meant?
Yeah, magecraft.
I think is the thing that allows you to have for the duration the spellcaster has advantage on all checks made with that set of up. Yes,
Right,
so you
okay.
may roll with advantage for each one, but you do not get a d6.
Right. Okay. First one is 18.
Okay, that's a single potion of cold resistance.
Okay. I'll do an. How many am I allowed to do then?
How many ingredients have you got? That's literally each time you're expending one of each ingredient, or 0.1 pounds of each ingredient.
Quite a lot. I'll use 3 for the time being. See how many I'll make.
Give me 3 rolls. Or 2 more
Okay.
now.
Okay, that's 24.
That's 2.
Okay, and one more round is a 19.
That's one. You've got 4
Okay,
potions
I'll
to
do
cover
it.
this. Do one more check,
Please.
so you've got one for everyone.
That's going to be a 15.
That is one more. Cool.
Right.
There's,
So I
that potion
remove
barely
4.
scraped it. It almost didn't work. Now you may give me an alchemy knowledge check, so you can have a d6, but you cannot roll an advantage. Wait, second you can to see how much
Right,
you
okay.
learned in the process.
And the
You've
d6.
gained no information.
19.
Nada. Is nowhere near high enough. Cool.
Oh,
Any other potions
jeez,
you're making?
okay.
Don't worry. I mean, Torren's been trying to make the intelligence DC to raise his leather working for about 6 years.
Right. So let me just. So everyone gets to add a potion of frost resistance. I'll just do mine real quick.
Resistance.
Cold resistance, yes.
Wouldn't find anything under frost.
Yeah, no, true. Right.
Are you making
Okay.
anything else, Jamil?
Yeah, I would like to make some attempts at making some stamina potions. Do I
Okay.
have the dragon's tongue?
Oh, additionally, bloodgrass,
Oh, you're back.
metic wax, yeah. But you can
Yep, got
enhance it
both.
further with.
I can use dragon's tongue for this one, so I would like to try to make some really good ones, if I may.
You have dragon's tongue? Fantastic.
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead and give me your alchemy roll. Time you try and combine the 3 ingredients.
Right. Okay. I'll make one attempt here. That's going to be a 14.
Fail.
Right. I'll do one more. That's a 20. Okay.
Evil level of. That is a greater stamina potion.
Okay.
And with that, though, your alchemy will increase to 5.
Oh, excellent. Thank you.
It is your first complex potion, which means you don't have to. What happens when you go up is the DC for what you're getting goes down, and the thresholds increase at the top, so that if you roll really well, you can get better things.
Right.
New rolling table. Are you making anything else?
For the time being, no, but that's a greater stamina potion, yes?
It is one greater stamina potion.
Okay, so...
Working
Yeah,
your way towards
I'll
potions
keep
of
that on
dragon,
me for the time...
Dragon's Majesty.
Right, I'll keep
There
that
we
on me for the time being, and I'll pass that over to anyone that happens to need it as we need it.
Okay.
Okay, and that'll be me for potions for the time being.
You've all had a long rest,
Wonderful,
so if you
thank
wish to change the spells that you prepare, you do so. Sort of 4:30, 5 o'clock in the evening anyway, so obviously you rest and then head off in the morning.
What do we have for like a tent? Does anybody have?
Did you not?
I was gonna
Are we
ask,
all-
do we have a
spells
manufacturing
to live
tent?
in, or-
Did you get
Or do
the
we have
fancy
spells?
tent? I thought you guys got the really fancy tent.
Someone might
did
have.
the fancy tent.
We did.
Only one I have is the tent of urban survival, which is a blanket fort that only works inside.
Yeah, no, that one's not very helpful. Are you sure I didn't give you
I don't have a
manufacturing?
crazy tent. Could have been.
I wasn't sure if we had somebody who was letting us live on a spell at this point, or
I don't see it in any.
No.
In that case, maybe Natasha had it passed over. Because I know that I definitely.
Actually, James, I remember writing in my will that I left it to Henrik, so
Well,
I'm
no,
not
I mean-
quite sure why Henrik didn't add it.
Yeah, all I'm saying is if it was Natasha that had it, obviously you guys would have.
So what is it that we have? The manufacturing tent?
It is a manufacturing tent special edition.
Oh.
It was your reward for saving the guy. Remember? You saved a guy like years ago,
Yeah.
a manufacturing guy.
Saved a lot of guys.
yeah, he
Um,
gave us like some other stuff we wanted, but I didn't know.
Oh,
we
did he
had the
not give you this?
No,
No, I don't
In
think.
that case,
I don't think he gave us a tent. No, we
No.
each got an item from him. I'm pretty sure.
Oh,
like,
okay.
a
Well,
big
in
one
that
thing.
case, if you want to spend,
No,
Oh,
the
yeah.
special is like 200 or 300 or
No,
something.
200 gold's enough to buy a house.
Well, that's what it's listed as. Manufactory tent 12 gold, manufactury tent special edition 200 gold.
Oh, is the special edition that good? Maybe I've got to maybe I've confused myself.
What does it do? Let me just see.
I'm sure we have a lot of friends we can just ask for this tent, considering what we're doing for this, settlement.
Oh, okay, yeah, no, this is a 240 square foot room, separate outhouse, small kitchen, central hearth sitting area.
Can't one of you mages like summon a mansion or something? Like, come on.
Yeah, no, okay, the price is right.
He might be able to. I can't.
No, I can't.
You can have a regular one, but if you want a special one, you'll have to buy it.
Of course, I
I
want a
got
special
confused
one.
about them.
How much is it? 200?
I mean,
What
I
do we have
it,
in
but
the
to
What
spend
do we
it on
have
a
in the
tent?
party loot? Yeah, it's a
How
tent.
good is the regular tent?
I mean, the regular tent's pretty nice. I think it fits all of us. Just a little
It definitely
snug.
fits you, yeah. It's just you don't have like a separate outhouse and a kitchen. But I will just say to you, think of how good the cooking checks will be. What a kitchen.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
We need this.
Maybe you can start making, I don't know, really exotic
A
stuff.
kitchen
Also,
in
what
the wild.
What the fuck else are you spending your money on in this campaign?
Also-
Can I persuade our accountant Henrik into buying this for us?
I mean, I'll throw in
Henning.
some money from my personal.
Really,
Point
what
back
is the
here.
difference?
You
Henning,
get a
look,
kitchen.
Look at this bag.
Like a mansion.
Look at these
Yeah.
bags, Henrik.
Do you know who is holding the money? Have you
I
ever
know.
heard him go, you know what we need is a mansion?
The tent, it's quite modest, Henrik. Come now.
I never asked for anything.
I think that's the difference.
Also, I have a quick question. Can we make a quick stop in Sandringham to like drop some stuff off?
It's not really on the way.
For this.
Isn't it?
Quite a lot of tents going.
Like a little out of the way. I suppose it is. It'll have to wait.
I mean, the regular one still keeps it completely dry and 65 degrees. It repels common insects through natural means.
But Henrik, if you consider it, just
It's
from a
got built-in
semantics point
alarm?
of view, and Henrik, from a
Built-in
semantics point
alarm.
of view,
Let's go.
special is better than normal.
The big difference, I think, Henrik, is that the regular tent is for 2 people. I think that's the main difference.
And I will not be
You just buy
sleeping as
3
a
of
cat.
those. Wow.
I love
Two
that
hundred
the combination here between Joe and Henrik on spending gold for a tent is a beautiful thing.
That's,
Live a little.
that's a lot.
To be fair, when was the last time you spent any gold on anything pointful?
Never.
No, I know.
The only thing we ever spend money on is giving it to the wizards.
I can't remember if I also have
That's true.
gems as a separate thing. I think I built them into the money.
I'm gonna look at Sebastian and say, I'm surprised you're not being more vocal about this.
I can make myself like a bed and stuff. I don't,
I knew he had some sort of trick.
unless
Make
this
us a
is,
mansion, Sebastian. Now.
unless this is a fancy tavern, then I don't care. This tent isn't gonna come with fancy wine and steak.
We could make it.
Technically, it does give you the facilities to make them.
I don't trust you to make steak.
I'm not gonna be cooking.
Henrik's
Henrik
like the
is.
second best cook in the land at this point.
Yeah.
Maybe not
But
actually.
has he
When was the
made
last time your cooking
steak?
skill went up? I'm like, idiot.
Do
I'm
you
pretty
really
sure Henrik
want-
knows how
Oh.
to make steak.
I
Do you
think so.
want steak, Sebastian?
I never don't want steak.
I mean, when someone all of a sudden needs 500 gold to not be dead or something, we're gonna be mad that we're living in a tent. But
I can't resurrect you anyways. All that stuff is 1,000 gold and up. If you die, you're gone.
well, that's
Well,
the stuff I didn't know because I don't have any of that. That's what I was trying to ask before. Like, does
Do
anybody need?
you mean like the
what are we-
diamonds for Revivify?
Yeah.
Their price is divided by 10.
If that's
Huh?
Their price is divided by 10 in this campaign.
if that's not a hint for us all to make backup characters, I don't know what.
No,
it
my
is.
point is that because the economy is divided by 10, right? So a diamond worth 1,000 gold pieces is instead a diamond worth 100 gold pieces.
So I will be keeping
Otherwise,
that
you
in my
would never be able
inventory.
to cast anything. Greater
You know,
Restoration will be completely out of your reach.
Yeah, I actually removed it because I
Yeah, no,
didn't
that's
think I
fine. You can
could
have it
cast
back.
it.
You can have it back.
Thank you, sir.
Anyway,
Okay.
ready, tent?
Fine.
Yes!
Yay!
We'll be sleeping
does
good
nothing.
tonight.
And
It does
It
nothing.
brings joy. It brings
You better
joy.
describe the fuck out of it every time we wake up in the morning.
Oh,
Because otherwise it's
absolutely.
just there. You don't actually get to see it or do anything with it.
What does it look like?
Except cook
boy.
fantastic meals, which are so valuable to us. It's,
And this
it's absolutely worth
Lord
it.
better feel
very
extremely invigorated when he gets put into our shelter. Alright.
Anything else that you guys would like to do before setting out?
Oh, I want to ask, I want to talk to Mike and explain to him where we're going, what we're doing, and ask whether he would rather come with us or stay here and keep watch over the cart and donkey, who are definitely staying here because they didn't do well in the mountains before.
Mushrooming Mountain?
Well, I'm sure there's some, but it's not the most mushroomy of environments. It's pretty cold.
it's quite cold, yes.
Adventure.
Definitely an
Absolutely.
adventure.
And you're more
That's
than
it.
welcome to come
SeaWorld.
along. Indeed.
Mike with Hennick.
Be happy to have you. We'll just find a place to put up black radish that seems nice and safe.
You can ask one of the take him along. Wish, or you can leave him here at the stables.
I kind of like him being out of the city. So he can have a little visit along home.
Can we pack some stuff with him and trust that it gets home safely?
Yes, yes.
Oh, there you go.
Okay. Let's throw that mirror on there. And I've got this set of like dragon armor. What is it called? Dragon Guard. I'm gonna display it in my home.
I think we're also going to have to buy something to carry a bunch of shit in.
Unless someone wants to wear it. Does anyone want to wear this breastplate?
I guess I technically have a bag of holding in here.
Yep,
Oh,
you
I
can
should
also
have
store stuff
shoved
in the
food
tent.
that. All right.
And then once you've stored stuff in the tent, it will.
Okay, yeah,
only
I
be
think
there
I'm
when
down
it's
to
done.
only the actual cart stuff, like the bit and bridle and
Rosa,
food.
do you want to wear this Dragon Guard? Hello?
What's up? Oh, who's up?
Oh, sorry. I did not realize you're speaking to me.
No worries. Do you want to wear this Dragon Guard armor that we got from that path?
What sort of magic does it contain?
It's a
armor,
+1. It's a +1 breastplate that
If there's a dad, it's already better than
gives
what I have,
advantage
so yes.
gives advantage on saving throws against breath weapons of creatures that have the dragon type. So basically have advantage on saving throws against dragons. Plus,
Does
it's a
this
+1
mean that
breastplate.
if you breathe on me, you won't be able to breathe on me so well?
Yes, exactly. it will.
So in a way, I'll be taking.
Although
your
I
breath
don't know if
away.
I'm technically the dragon type. I don't
Oh
think
my
I am.
God.
Oh.
I will be taking this Dragon Guard breastplate.
Okay. Take it off my hands.
Thank you very much. And I'll give you my old one, which is also a +1 breastplate.
Okay, I'll proudly display that in my home.
You can like meld it and do your blacksmithing thing.
Oh, I'm not a smith. I'm a leather worker.
Oh, I thought they were the
Does anyone
same
do
as that.
smithing here?
No.
I don't think so. No.
I-
I'm displaying it in my house, Sebastian.
I can do anything.
shall we go?
Are you
I'm
headed
in.
onwards? Yes. Okay, so you head on down to the Mages Guild. And there they will be able to facilitate the teleporting from one teleportation circle to another. You to arrive deep in the bowels of Eladar.
Are we able to keep that somewhat secret?
From who?
The twins.
This end secret. An insight check.
Sure. 20.
Yeah, you get the impression that if they ask strongly, they'll find out, but they'll need to know where to ask. So you might be able to keep it secret for a while.
Alright.
Can we lie? Is there like some sort of record we can alter? Some sort of like ledger book?
The person who's activating the teleportation circle, if you lie to him, you will end up somewhere else.
Can we convince him to lie?
So yeah, I mean, the guy who's doing it for you, he's an older gentleman. He appears a couple of 100 years old. He's a gnome. And he sort of strokes his long beard.
It's not my strong suit. I was merely proposing
He's
the
asking
idea.
all of
so-
you, where are you going?
Oh, Eladar.
To Eladar, okay. And did you want to try and persuade him to keep it a secret? Or
Well, I mean, I
magically
was.
persuade him? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I will do that now that we're here. I was thinking of, like, making it not obvious that we went here at all in the first place.
Oh, to the Mages Guild?
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, we
I
could
mean-
almost make it look like we left with our cart, you know, and so they
Okay.
think that we've gone out of town, or maybe even,
Okay,
I don't
so
know.
yeah, if you guys sort of maybe you're how are you making it look like you? An illusion thing? Do you guys have the ability?
Right, I
Or you have
don't.
like
So.
major image or silent image?
Just checking real quick.
I don't think I do have it prepped.
I'd have it prepped, but I can use one of my charges on my orb to prep it. I guess.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay.
If you'd
so-
prefer saving that, I could also offer another solution. I can summon 6 monkeys. But only if you prefer saving that for later, Sebastian.
I will tell you that 6 monkeys are not going to fool the guards.
Yeah, I'll.
They wouldn't have cloak.
No.
I'll cast Major Image.
Yep. Okay. So the illusion of your party heads out as you guys creep on around. I need a group stealth check, please, as you attempt to stealth your way to the Mages Guild. Jamal, it just heightens the. It gives you no more access to potions. It just makes it so that when you roll, you're more likely to get greater or superior ones, and the DCs
Right.
for hitting those potions is lowered. You're also
So it
more
doesn't give me a bonus to the alchemy skill or anything right now.
No, you would have to hit 6 for that.
Sure.
It would use.
Thank you.
Yeah. Group stealth check,
No.
please. Tavo with a nat 20.
Let's go.
I got a
15s.
23.
Okay, a 23, a 15, a 15, and Rosa. Rosania?
So we're
Stealth
still
check.
rolling.
Oh, okay. Oh, there we go.
20.
Why do you have advantage?
Boots of Elvenkind.
Ah, nice. Okay, cool. Yep. Yeah, it's more than enough. I needed an average of 12. I think you guys have averaged 18 with a nat 20 in there. Oh, not quite, actually. So doing those rolls, but still, it's pretty high. And you guys sort of wander into the Mages Guild quietly, and then at the Mages Guild, I'm sure that for the most part you're not seen, and when you are seen, it looks like you're just picking up a couple of books for Chiavo and Sebastian before heading out. You know, match up exactly, but that's okay. You head on down and you find this gnome. Yes, he's manning the teleportation circle for the day. And of course, if you really, really want to keep it secret, you could kill him and then teleport his body with you. Because Chiavo
Excessive.
can operate a teleportation circle. But he doesn't know where Eladar is, and this gnome does. So he looks at you. Oh, so you're getting to Eladar, is that right?
Indeed we are. We'd certainly appreciate that's our private business. We'd appreciate if you didn't let anybody know where we're going. But I don't know what the normal processes are around here.
Well, I'm sure you would, and I'd appreciate a pay rise, or a bonus at least.
Of how much?
I don't know.
I mean,
I'll flash him. I'll flash him a. Oh, okay.
I didn't hear what he said.
He asked you for 5 gold. Keep your secret.
I'm gonna make him make a wisdom save.
What are you
As my
casting?
big fluffy face is my racial feature. What did he roll?
You're
Oh,
gonna give him
damn.
the kitty cat eyes.
22.
Yeah, that passes. Never mind.
Not a big fan of cats either.
Oh, then he would roll at disadvantage anyways.
He's not a
If
big
he doesn't
fan.
like cats. Yeah, so if he doesn't like cats, it's disadvantage, and if
Oh.
he does like cats, it's advantage.
He likes cats, he rolls at disadvantage.
Yeah, that way around.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's not a big fan. I didn't say he didn't like them, he's just not a big fan of them.
I will hand him 5 gold.
I was going to say I'm about to as well.
Oh, excellent. Well, I will do you one better. Imagine that I never knew. And he gets out a scroll and he puts it on the table. And it's a scroll of modified memory. He will modify his own memory after you've left. You will never know.
Very thorough.
Perfect.
I've been
Thank
waiting
you.
to use that
So,
for a long
excellent.
time.
You're an excellent businessman.
But I am going to buy myself a whore. Now, let's get you gone. And with that, he will sort of wave his arms. Boosha, boosha,
As-
all that sort of stuff.
As we're about to teleport, Torn will be like, enjoy.
Yeah, so these each part of the circle sort of goes blue and green and gold, and then you notice them very slowly turn to this deep, earthy brown and gold, almost like stonework. And with that, you find yourself in the bowels of. As you arrive down here, you find yourself in a small stone circle. And as you look over the edge, it's a large drop down to very far areas. There is no bridge off of this circle. But a little way over, sort of 15 or 20 foot over, there is a gentleman who sat in a chair, and a dwarf, who's almost sort of focuses for a moment, and what on earth is this? Hello? Can I help you?
Well, I'm sure you can. We are known to your king.
Oh, well, that's
My
good.
name is Hennick Littlefield. These are my companions from Sandringham.
Aye. Well, you'll have to check in
Perhaps.
with those who know a little better, but I'll get the bridge for you. They're a strange-looking group, you know. And
We do what we can.
with that, he moves over and he starts cranking a wheel, and slowly a metal bridge is going to extend out. Now speak.
It doesn't matter, the moment's gone.
Why? Okay.
It's just got, yeah, it's just
Okay.
gone.
A metal bridge will extend outwards, and it's quite a slow and tedious process. But you see that it's sort of every 3 or 4 ruts, it's extending down a beam down into the ground, and then again, sort of it's clunking out. It takes about 10 minutes to unravel the bridge fully. It's quite secure, I promise you. Been there for hundreds of years. Hasn't needed a repair once.
You're to
Come on
last, huh?
over. Come on over.
By all means, I'll just immediately start heading my way across.
Once you are all across, he doesn't wind the crank back, but instead he pulls a lever on the top, and the entire bridge just collapses to nothing. Then it's slowly, you see it like being retracted up the wall again. So yeah, he could have dropped it in seconds, but it takes ages to extend out. Right, if you'll come with me, I'll take you up to see, well, the king's man probably first. Up we go, up we go. And he will lead you through this magnificent city. As you walk across long stone bridges built ages by, you'll see workings of new areas that are being dug out and mined all the time. There are these strange sort of stone hut buildings. Most of them don't look like they're in use at the moment. But in the occasional one, you'll see the fire of a forge. This is obviously a working area, not a living area. But as he leads you up a long stone spiral staircase and back out onto the next level, and again the drop is looking even larger, you'll see huge statues of dwarves in various places, and he'll sort of casually point at them and say, "Oh, that's Barak Braun Anvil. That's Durnid the One Hand." And he sort of points at different ones, and he just tells you who they are and maybe a little bit of their story. Maybe they fought in a great war or once a very earnest king. He points to one, and he says, "Oh, that one's my favorite. Fergus of the Third Anvil. He made the finest hammer of all. Unfortunately, he created the ability for it to come back a little too well. It was later tempered by somebody else. It's now one of the finest hammers in our history. But at the time, he threw it, and it came back so hard it killed him."
Oof.
Well, anyway, up the stairs.
That's too bad.
And he leads you up to this sort of, now you're entering sort of grand marble halls with huge ironworks and sort of bits of gold filigree built into the corridors. And you're beginning to see the grandioseness of the dwarven areas. And you will all feel dwarfed, unintentional, by this area. These corridors are sort of 20 or 30 foot high. The walls are all vaulted. The statues are massive. You walk in the Hall of Kings, and slowly as you turn around, you're given this, and you can see that this corridor is built purely for this illusion, as it comes out with only with a staircase up and a small entrance of only 10 or 12 foot high, and then this chamber is just vast. It stretches almost as far as the eye can see in terms of distance, right to left. It is 60 or 70 foot tall, and there is a large sort of plinth with a staircase up to it, where a dwarf sits on a wonderfully golden and silvered throne. But standing not that far from you in front of the dwarf with silver rings in his black beard, and his hair is sort of in dreadlocks down behind him. Looks up and, "What's this? You caught yourself a fish. What can I do for you?"
Well, my name is Hennick Littlefield. These are my companions here from Sandringham. We've met King
I
before.
recognize the cat. He points towards Sebastian. Eladar calls you friends, I think. Do you request audience with the king?
Well, it might be worthwhile checking in with him just to see how, or maybe yourself for that matter. We've come to sort of aid in the efforts to find Lord Lagon off in the mountains. I believe we've spoken to y'all about it before.
It's myself that's in charge of the expedition, but I'll talk you through it as we get up to the king. So we sent out 6 different packs of dwarven scouts. They're very slow, but methodical. We've also sent some of the elves. They're pretty good at what they do, but, well, they think very highly of themselves. Travel alone, We've also sent out 2 Yuan-Ti groups that offered, in the sense of peace. They've gone as well. But the mountains are difficult to traverse at this time of year. So, progress has been slow. None of them are magically aided. I understand we had a couple of druids drop in. Been a bit unexpected. They offered their help as well. But they told us they'd be fine on their own. They were just letting us know where they were going. I've got a little map here. He pulls out a tube and opens it up. And, oh, no, that's completely wrong thing. I don't think you need our list of supplies. Pulls out a different one. Nope, not that. That's the meetings for today. I really should find a way of labeling these tubes. Pulls out another scroll case, and I don't even know what this one does. It's magical. He sort of waves it at you, hands it to Hennick. And then finally he pulls out a scroll.
All right. Maybe what you need is a tube with like a list of your tubes.
You're speaking nonsense at that point. I wouldn't know which one was the tube of the tubes. That being said, yeah.
Undercode them.
Look at them. They're all so fine and fancy. I don't want them being pretty bright and green and yellow and all that. That nonsense is for elves.
Or you can just put one tiny, tiny little marking on it in the colour that you need. There's no need to ruin the whole thing.
Perhaps I'll think about it. But in the meantime, here's your map. And it will show the paths that are being covered by each group. We're just going to pop up to the world map so I can show you those briefly.
Oh, excellent.
And basically, the scout groups have covered, between them, this circle here. Yeah. The rest will be. I'll make that a bit of a clearer color. Oh, that's a terrible color to use in this light, in the light of this situation. I don't know. Fluorescent pink.
That'll do.
Yeah. With that, any sort of. I don't know, you can keep the magic one. I have no idea what it does.
I'd stuff it towards Kiabu.
Okay.
I would like to take a little bit of time when I can to examine it, but not
Cursory
right during
glance
this
will do
conversation.
for a mage.
Sure.
Scroll of dark vision.
Scroll of Dark Vision.
The spell dark vision. Somebody can write into that spell book if they want. I don't know. It was given to me by someone at some point. Told me to look after it. So in my pocket for a long time. So take it with you. Don't. I'm sure it might come in useful. Anyway, so you wanted an audience with the king, did you?
I think it would be polite to say hello.
Great. He's got an awful head on him this morning. We were celebrating last night. Someone's birthday or something. I don't really remember, if I'm honest. Partake. Okay, I'll lead you up. And as you head on up to the king, we shall take a short. Well, hello and welcome back to the second half of Beldania, our inaugural 50th episode. How exciting! We were having an audience with the king. A king who has a terrible hangover. He looks down at you. Oh, well, you again. Welcome. You came through the teleportation circle. Nobody's done that in ages. What can I do for you?
Well, we're just checking in. We wanted to let you know we appreciated your efforts to help us find Lord Lagon, but we're going to try to put our own hands on the job as well.
Oh, fantastic. You'll need to confer with Malabranch. He's in charge of the operation. Malabranch is the person who brought you. You know this.
Yeah.
You've got the map.
Yeah, he's been getting us up to speed, and that's much appreciated. We just we'd had some run-ins before, and we just wanted to pay our respects to yourself, and thank you again too for the. We heard that some of the Yuan-Ti have been involved even in the search, and so it's nice to see that
They're becoming part
integrated
of
here.
Part of the populace. We were celebrating one of their birthdays last night. Serventasis. His name was horrible. It didn't fit into the happy birthday song at all. But yes, I mean they like to drink. The Yuan-Ti, they have this funny drinking thing where you do the cheers and you do the head and you do the drink and they've got some potent liquor. We had some good fun with it.
Oh, yes.
My head's hurting me
That's
something
working
major, but we had a good time.
Well, I'm glad that's all working out then.
Oh, brilliantly. I've had to tumble more than one Yuan-Ti out of a female dwarf's bed. I don't know what it'll create. They do manage to emerge
Or
as
trying
such.
to think.
I don't know if I'd want to have a scaly dwarf here, but hey, they're good folks. They're nice. Can't say so much about the orcs, though we've sheltered a few of them here. They've got their own chambers if you want to talk to them.
Please. No, please, go.
Do you like any kind of alcohol, King?
I'm not so much for that fancy elven wine, but apart from that, yes. Pretty much anything that's got a bit of a kick to it.
As I'm taking out the aged bottle of wine, I'll just put it.
Not all wine is elven wine. He doesn't like the fancy fruity elven
Okay.
wine, which is like it's very delicate and crystallized and doesn't really have any alcohol in it. The fine-aged wine you got was human, wasn't it?
I have no
Not
idea.
made from humans. Where did you get it? When did you get it?
I have also have no idea. I know I've got 3 bottles left.
Right. Yeah, he would love a tribute of wine.
Sure, I will hand that over to him.
That's a fine gift. Perhaps I could get you something in return if you like a drink. And he'll call over and Malabranch, get him a bottle of Gutbuster. After a while, he'll come out with a bottle of this potent-looking dwarven beer and hand it to you.
Oh, beer. Thank you.
He opens the wine, this fine aged wine. He doesn't pour it in a glass. He just takes a swig and nothing like hair of the dog for a hangover. Tastes very expensive. He puts the lid back on it and puts it on his throne. And, thank you, and good luck in your travels. I hope you find the Duke. He was a good man, a good friend. I can't myself, but I think my adventuring days are over. Be 400 next year.
An impressive feat.
Well, it's only impressive if you've done something in the years. Point living forever and doing nothing like an elf. No offense meant, madam.
Offense taken.
I'm sure that you've done plenty with your life, but there are plenty of elves who spend 1,000 years sitting in a hut studying a leaf. I don't know. We need to do more, get out more.
Yes.
You look
I'm
like you get
sure
out a
that-
lot, though.
Yes, and like you, I do get out a lot, and so do my elven friends.
Very good. Ah, you're friends with those druid folk, is it?
Yes.
Most
ones
unusual
that-
elves.
No, that's pretty much all the elves I've known. Out and about, exploring.
They're nothing like the hoity-toity city elves. Tell you that. You did.
I don't know,
experience-
even-
no, you weren't in Ferrari, were you? That's it.
Me?
In Ferrari, when you guys went around and met all the racist elves. Those hoity-toity cities.
Of course they're awful, but I'm not gonna shit talk my
Of course,
home.
he's not expecting you to. You know, he thinks that every dwarf is perfect.
Only we can talk bad about
Do you know
Veralia,
what-
okay?
Do you know what would improve the elves? None, way more than anything else. A beard. If they could grow
You are-
beards, they'd have more fun.
You certainly are very opinionated for a king.
Ah, yes.
I promise to take note of all of your graceful recommendations and pass
That's
them
okay.
on.
You and your kind are always welcome, but I do recommend growing a beard.
Yes, that would be
To
most
much
delightful.
more important means, do you want a hearty dwarven breakfast before you go? A lot
Me?
of you.
Or
I mean, why not?
I
Fantastic.
won't say no.
I'll get it dealt with. Head on up to this to the smith's quarters. Up the stairs on the right. Malabranch will see that you get egged all right.
Thank you, King Arvo.
No problem. You just become Glaswegian of the last two words. Don't know why. No problem. Have a good one. And he'll send you off, and Malabranch will explain to you that a dwarven breakfast is basically deviled eggs and beer.
Mmm.
Excellent.
Yeah, which is a
On the
very
way
good
there-
breakfast at midday. It's not so good at 8 a.m.
On the way there, Torin will sort of rib Rosa and be like, "Aren't you glad that we don't have a dwarf in the party?"
I really had to bite my tongue back there, you know.
Stubborn folk.
Yeah, it's annoying, but elves are the same. They're a bit of racist idiots.
Malabranch sort of quietly smiled to himself but say nothing. He leads you up. And he leads you
you
into what's
giggling?
called the Dwarven Kitchen. And you'll like this because the tables are basically anvils. They're not actually in use anvils, but they're built in the shape of anvils. They're huge iron slabs, but they're not thick at the base. They're hollow anvils. And sat around them are these sort of they look like sort of metal stools, but with great big sort of furry cushions on the top that are strapped to the stools. And you'll quickly notice there is only two types of breakfast here. And the large dwarven woman with a beard to die for wanders over and eggs or meat.
Meat.
Gotcha.
Why
and
not
she-
both?
Bad enough to me own heart. So you can get deviled eggs or a smoked leg of ham. That is it. And with that, you get these huge pitchers of ale, which is really potent stuff. And each one of you is sort of handed either one, the other, or both. And you're able to tuck
Yeah,
in.
I was gonna say, can I get
Um,
both?
Yep. For the next 8 hours, you will have advantage on all Constitution checks and saves.
Wow.
Wonderful.
Sebastian, I'm really glad you gave him that wine.
Gift rights returned. But we feed everybody breakfast on the way through. It's nice to see how the more delicate folks take the beer. And with that, with your advantage, you may make me each a Constitution save against the beer.
Ooh.
If I drink it from my tankard of sobriety, do I not get my advantage?
You make no check, and you still get your advantage. The advantage comes from the food, not the drink.
Oh, okay.
Also, if you're standing within 10 feet of Torin,
You're all
+4.
sitting within 10 feet, so you may add a +4 to your con saves. Rosania gets a 31, as Torin gets a 27. Oh,
Yeah.
I love that. With advantage, Sebastian and Piano.
Damage. That's a 22.
Nice. Yabo.
Yep, just rolling. Oh, no, 20, 24.
As he sort of looks around, waiting for one of you to flinch, he's just like, "You're thinking it like dwarves. Bless him. Obviously had some good adventures in your time. I don't suppose this old dwarf could trouble you for the tales of one as he takes you up to and out of the citadel. And he will tell you that he used to adventure with Eladar back in the day, but he hasn't been out adventuring for 270 years. Oldest dwarf in the city. And a bunch. Yeah, so if you would kindly regale him with a tale of your... You don't have to roleplay it. If somebody will regale him with a tale, which tale
I'm
would you
looking at-
guys pick?
Looking at Hennick.
Henrik, which tale
What did
would
he
you
ask
tell
for
him?
exactly?
A tale of your adventures, that's all.
Just a tale of our adventures.
You tell him about.
I'm sure you would hate to hear about the tale. It's like the time that we went to visit the elves.
No. Maybe the cube in Halion?
Yeah, that's what I think. The giant sand
pretty-
cube.
That's
Yeah,
pretty
I
epic.
mean-
That's a
Sand-
pretty,
No, a place
pretty
where
epic
the-
tale.
where
Gold
the rock
dragons.
is all broken into little sandy bits, and it's still formed into different things and stuff. I
Yeah,
think
dragons and all
would do it
that.
for it.
Yeah.
He really
dragon's
thoroughly
very
enjoys your
powerful.
tale. He gives you something on the way out. Don't suppose you probably have no use for it, but if you'd carried this with you, it'll keep you lucky. Kept me lucky for many years on the club. And he hands you what is a small hatchet. It's like a hand hatchet, like the dwarven equivalent of like a belt knife. It's used for cutting up food, breaking down small shrubs, that sort of thing. It has absolutely no magical properties whatsoever, but it kept him lucky. He hopes that it keeps you lucky too. Very grateful for your tale, and he sets you out in front of Eladar. Entrance to Eladar is quite grandiose. It sits with a huge cliff drop in front of it. Single narrow bridge leading from this area to the plateau, which you'll remember the plateau is where all the barbarian tribes come to sell their goods, and often they sell dwarven goods as well. And you've been to these markets. You sort of, as you're out there, you're greeted by various. That is not what I was looking for. But yeah, you're greeted by various travelers and such, offering you all sorts of exciting and very plain wares. Basically, your fur cloaks, your snowshoes, your cold weather clothing, your bell taxes, and that sort of thing. But unless you have any need for that, you may proceed with your traveling.
I get out my fur cloak from before.
I think you all had travel clothing.
Flip that around.
All weather clothing with the possible exception.
You see her like drape her cloak of moonlight over herself.
Ooh.
Yep, current time is about 12 o'clock in the afternoon. Obviously,
Yeah.
you're going to walk away from the plateau. But once done...
I would like to just remind everybody of our prior experiences here and the things we need to look out for, and give the old inspiring leader, if I can.
Okay.
17 temp.
17.
Wow.
Just bear with me a second. I'm just grabbing something for you guys. People, let me get that up. I wasn't expecting to be in the mountains today. I prepared something very different. Grab this.
Oh, I will buy some clothes for Mike if he needs them.
Mike will sort of look at you, and Mike always warm, very warm. But thank
Good enough. I know I hadn't really seen you wear anything, but it's definitely a different environment, so I thought I'd check.
He does sort of look down on his feet and sort of. Maybe one day Mike gets shoes that fit.
Can certainly arrange that.
But yeah, apart from some shoes, I think Torin could probably make him some shoes at some point.
I could definitely sew him up a pair.
Right. This will be worth it when we get there, I promise. You are able to enter into the mountains proper. And nearly there. We're so nearly there. Come on, James. One more step. Backdrop right and the grid. Right a bitch. Beautiful. As we enter the mountains proper noises. Gonna be here for a while. Don't know how to stop the music playing. Yes, as you enter the frozen mountain tundras. There are no paths in the mountains. There are occasionally broken trails. See the mountains surround you. Where are we going and what are we doing? What is the plan? There's about 12 people.
Well,
No mounts are good up here, or just the cart and
So if
radish
you remember,
for-
you were able to bring mounts through before. You even did manage to get the cart through, but it was a nightmare. So yes, you can ride. Certainly, your
I'll ride Tamarin for now if I
Tamarin
can.
is certainly capable of making his way through the mountains. Magical and all.
He's quite a capable warrior.
Yeah, I'll summon my Phantom Steed too.
Okay. Is anybody willing to summon a spare Phantom Steed for double up with him or something? Otherwise, Henrik is going to be walking while everybody else is riding. Galvo, do you do Phantom Steeds?
I think so, if I remember correctly.
The ritual?
Been a while
You're
since I
available
needed to
to?
do one. Yes, I can do one.
Okay, can you do two? Mind.
Oh, I can certainly do two.
well, are we all going to become clouds in 5 seconds anyway?
At the
Oh,
point they
true.
can disappear. But you definitely want to set out on foot for a little way.
Sure.
Just a reminder that you're heading the opposite way to the Dwarven Scouts at the moment. They all went up into
I
the
mean,
higher
someone can
mountains.
ride with. We can like
Sure,
double
Henrik
up
can
on
double up on Tamarin, that
horses.
works.
Yeah, we don't need
But
to-
yeah, what does Rosania do?
Oh my god, please, yes. That's sick. I'm sure Rosa could transform into a horse that Henrik could ride, or something rideable. Oh, there's Rosa.
Not the best mountain creature that...
I could maybe wild shape into an owl, like a giant owl.
Oh, I like that. A giant owl.
That's cool.
Okay. Fuck yeah.
Like me, or has Bastian been a giant owl?
No, but the druid I played, the last time we saw him, he was a giant owl.
Yes, sorry, it was Druid. Nice.
So then,
Birch, his name was Birch.
Birch!
Yes.
Birch.
Horse.
Yeah, so the owl sort of leads the way ahead. And
I'm a snowy owl, by the way.
I will take a perception check from you, please. Please, using the owl's stat block. I think the owl gives you more perception than you might have, or maybe not. I don't know. I'm finding an extra.
I got it. Uh, 22.
22. Nice. Yeah. You notice that there are a few trails that break off in different directions. You see a scouting post far in the distance. Is there any sort of rhyme, reason, or logic to the way that you guys are exploring? Or are you hoping just to sort of head out for a little way and then get up in the skies and see?
I mean,
I was thinking sort of find a particular starting point and then sort of pick like 6 directions from there and then just sort of
We'd walk
spread
4
out
hours out and
across.
4 hours back.
yeah, sort of covering a direction so we sort of like fan out a little bit.
I'm assuming that's before anything you guys would have scryed to look at the area again. So I'm just going to
Yeah.
take each of you straight wisdom check, I think. Wisdom is what. Each of you just one single wisdom check, no added benefits, guidance.
Great wisdom check, eh?
Sebastian doesn't seem particularly interested. Rosania Torin and Rosania Torin and Kiavel. You'll all be able to take note that he seems a little high up. He's definitely in the foothills of a mountain. He's definitely up a mountain. And you can just see this because the backdrop behind him is like a clear drop. And as Henrik, you sort of peer at it for a little while longer. You look at how the shadows are being casted. There are no shadows being casted on this mountain, apart from by the mountain he's and you'll notice that the clouds are moving quite quickly. There are even a couple of clouds below him, the backdrop. You know that he is up high.
Right.
I think each of you, however, would recognize this area if you saw it again, or at least the general. Yeah, I think we're going to say, for the argument's sake, that you can zoom out a little bit on the view. You know, it's not just scrying his face, you've got sort of a downwards look at his.
Right.
So you wander down a little way, perhaps an hour or so down the road. Why don't you guys get ready and then go windwalking?
Well, what's the tallest mountain in the area? Like nearby?
So you're near a couple of mountains that are relatively tall, but Gathrak is the most northeasterly mountain from Eladar, or just northern, I guess. It is the one that sits closest to the Orcish border. It is known to be
in the area they were on. In the area they were on.
Okay.
What's like the tallest?
Well, let me explain. So you have walked out in this direction. Like, when you say in the area you're in, do you mean like a little square?
Yeah, sorry, I should have said that a bit better. I'm just trying to get to like the highest point in the area that we're in.
Okay, so you just want to get up to have a good look.
Yes.
Yeah, so there is a mountain to your east, as you will see in the picture. That mountain right there.
So if I fly there, once I'm up there, I would maybe unwild shape, but could I cast locate creature?
What are you trying to locate? Who are you trying to locate?
Lord Lagon.
Please ping the spell to...
It's limited by 1,000 feet.
Okay, no.
Okay.
1,000 feet is
So-
not very far, sadly.
Yeah, I'll
the
just
city.
obviously relay to the party that within the general area, he won't be around.
As you stand upon this mountain, you do see the peaks of 5 or 6 others. You know that he's not on this mountain, so it's a fair bet that he's up a mountain. With your windwalk, you could each perhaps target a mountain. Head for that. And then do a sort of whizzy round it. You'll have to spiral all the way up and down it to be able to get a proper view on it.
A good look, yeah. Is that what you guys want to do?
Well, I don't think we should go. Yeah, I think that's better than each of us trying to spread out dozens and dozens of miles from one another too much over the whole terrain. If we can sort of each pick a mountain and then reconvene, it might be safer.
Okay.
So yeah, basically that.
We have a plan then. So, you guys ready?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm ready.
Lego.
Cool, then Rosa will pick up a bit of fire. Like, she'll snap her fingers, drizzle holy water, and you kind of like, you feel your arms starting to twist, but you don't really feel pain. It's just like you start to twist, and then your whole body begins twisting to a point where it just pops. But when it pops, you don't die. Instead, you are now a gaseous form with your limbs wrinkled up in these like little clouds. You still have your shape and everything, but you're just like a cloud version of yourself. Windwalk.
And each of you is going to pick a mountain, correct? We'll start with Sebastian. Now to the east. What are you doing?
I guess. I guess I'm just like plodding along, not really rushing or
I
anything.
mean, you are rushing.
If
You're going
anything-
600 feet a second, but yes.
Do I have to?
Yes.
Oh,
Well, I mean, that's just how fast it goes. But yeah,
right.
you can.
Do I...
Yeah, you can sort of. You're going at a glacial cloud speed. You're still going
Yeah,
very
I'm
fast,
trying
but perhaps
to.
not as
I'm
fast
trying
as.
to pretend I'm a cloud.
Oh, okay. You're just trying to like drift like a cloud. Okay, I like that. Yeah. Go ahead and give me the first of 3 perception checks at disadvantage.
Okay. The first one was a 5, but I also rolled a nat 20. So annoying. And then... Oh, do you want me to keep going?
Yep, the second one.
Yeah. The second one is a 1.
Nice. Good.
Yeah. Not a nat 1, just a 1. And the second one's also a 1. Also
Okay.
not a nat 1, just a 1.
So you got a 5, a 1, and a 1.
Yeah. Don't you just love disadvantage?
It's good. Yeah. So you are spiraling up and down a mountain, and it's difficult because making out there's trees growing on this mountain. Making any sort of headway and looking through the trees is very difficult.
And to be fair, I am also pretending to be a cloud, so I'm not really paying much attention.
You're getting a little distracted here and there. You do see some very large creatures moving about that you recognize to be similar to those Yeti you fought in the past. But other than that, yeah, you see no signs of anything that even remotely resembles. And after a while, you hear that sort of chime in your head that 4 hours is up. The spell lets you know when you're. So you're able to drift on back, telling the wind has changed, returning back to the point of origin. Back to, which is a little way outside of Eladar, right? Or an hour and a half's walk out of Pride outside. And we will move on to Jordan. How's your cloud?
Yes.
You pick a mountain.
Yeah, let's go to the further one, like over
Yep.
here or something.
Okay, you drift onto a further mountain. It's not quite as tall as some of the others, but it's a lot wider, and there's a big plateau.
Mm.
You drift on over towards the plateau. You see that there is nothing top of the plateau. It is the barest, most uninhabited rock you've ever seen. Not even a footprint or a snowdrift. It's just clean, swept, bare, flat plateau at the top of the mountain. But as you
Would be a good place to build a house.
Yeah, if it wasn't so damn cold. But as you spiral on around and downwards, please give me advantage perception.
3 disadvantage perception checks.
Yep.
Now I have advantage on perception checks from my sentinel shield.
And you will roll straight.
Cool. Oh, it rolled at an advantage. Sorry.
Okay.
Let's reroll that. Let's reroll that. Flat. Roll. Wow.
Okay. The second one.
Better.
You do make something out as you peer on through. There's no trees on this one, but there's lots of jaggedy rocks that create shapes and things, and you do make out the sign of men walking along the. What do you think they're men? But as you get a little closer, they look like those barbarians that are selling you things. They seem to have some caves up on this. Hill is a very, very harsh word. It's a big mountain. Do anything with them, or are you just gonna keep looking?
Well,
I'll
I
let
just
you
rolled
keep
my
the roll
third
if you roll it
perception
later.
check.
But at this point, when you see them, are you sort of trying to get any closer to them, or are you?
Yeah, I can. I'll sort of like try to get close to them, but not like so close enough to within earshot. But I'm a cloud, right? Like they can't.
Yeah. But if a cloud came
Yeah.
within earshot of you, you'd be quite worried.
Yeah, I'll like sort of like rumble up slowly on them.
Yeah, I mean to be fair, you are on the edge of the mountain, so there are clouds drifting on by. And,
Yeah.
yeah, he's sort of you don't. I don't think. So.
Are they walking? Are they horseback?
They are not
Oh,
really
and the
walking,
horseback.
they're living.
Yeah,
So they're actually, two of them are sat around a big, huge fire that's been built.
Mhm.
There's a couple of bits of flapping canvas. You see the entrance to a cave with some torchlight in it. Do you speak Giant?
No.
You don't understand a word of what they're saying.
Okay.
They seem
You
happy.
speak. Hmm.
Yeah. You will note that there is a large creature on the spit above the fire. You don't recognize it per se, but if you're going to give me a nature check, you might recognize like its family. And given Torrent's intelligence, you might not at all.
Not at all.
Nope. Yeah, you look at it, you're like, it's got 4 legs. That's as far
Some
as you
sort
go.
of mammal. Yeah.
It's a mammal. Yes, great. Love that. And then, yeah, you sort of, I'm assuming, just drift onwards. There's nothing more to see
Yeah.
of them.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
got
And
nothing.
as you rotate around the other side, you do see what looks like an abandoned scout post. Once this was a scout post, but it has long since been abandoned. There is nobody within sight of it. Yeah, you're pretty certain this mountain does not contain the area where.
Okay. We'll vamoose.
Hold on back as you get the chime to return, and we'll turn over to Kiago. Right. As you pick a mountain and drift on outwards. Are you doing anything special as a cloud?
Yeah, I'd like to start at like the higher points, the higher ridges, and then systematically sweep along the ridges, sort of circling round and descending and doing lower ridges as
So
I
you're
go.
going down as you go. Go ahead and give me the first of your perception check as you reach a. It's not that high a mountain, but it's a particularly jaggedy one. It's got lots of sort of, those mountains that have little peaks all the way down, like little sort of stretches on. It's like it's a floated mountain.
Right, are you making me do this with an initial
All-
bit at disadvantage, or?
All rolls as a cloud with perception are disadvantage unless you innately have an advantage, at which point.
Right,
Straight
so
roll.
considering my Danastizer, that will be just straight roll then. Okay,
Sure, yeah.
first one is
Clouds at war
a
goggles.
7, that's not great.
Okay, you don't see much. It's very difficult to see, ironically, through the clouds as a cloud, because you're so high up and it's very thick and difficult to see. Yeah.
Yep.
Sweep on down to the next level and you make a second perception check.
It's a 19.
Yeah. With a 19, you see what appears to be a giant, actual giant, about 22 feet tall. His skin is a slight pale blue, and he has a huge beard and wields a massive hammer, and he seems to be slamming rocks. A bit like mining, but he's mining rocks. Think of that what you will. You know that Lord Lagon wasn't that near a giant, so you quickly move onwards.
Yep.
The third perception check as you sort of skate along a ridge.
A 20.
20. Yeah, this high up, you get distracted for a while watching a pack of wolves hunting a creature that you don't innately recognize. Please give me a nature check and see.
Sure. That's a nat 20.
Cool, yeah. Unlike Torin, you look at this and you're like, well, it's basically an elk, but it's much bigger and a bit more feral. For now, you can just call it a mountain elk.
Right.
Yeah, it's a big creature. It's the tip of its antlers stand almost 12 foot tall. It's almost 6-7 foot in length. It's much bigger than any horse you would have ever seen, or indeed any stag. See the wolf pack chasing it as it makes sort of short, sharp turns across the tundra. Seems to be getting away. But wolves are relentless and will chase ever more. You can't, however, because the chime goes off and you need to return back. Ding. And we turn to Rosania, creator of the Wind Wall spell. Rosania, we've had this mountain done, we've had this mountain done. We've had this mountain walked up and done. Yeah.
To the mountains that haven't been done.
Yep, you
I
pick a
shall
mountain
do
that
them.
hasn't been done. This one is particularly tall but very narrow. In fact, one side is almost a sheer cliff and the other is sort of this jaggedy, rocky bit down. As you get up to the top again, the clouds are swirling beneath you. Go ahead and give me the first of your perception.
With disadvantage, right?
If you do not have advantage yourself, then with disadvantage.
12.
Okay.
Which I'm not going to get anything better than that.
Anything worse, you mean? So the first one, you look down, but again, the clouds are swirling quite quickly. You do, however, make out an eagle's eyrie. Edge of this cliff.
I will go to it.
Okay. You're going to land as a cloud, or are you just going to sort of...
I'll hover. Are there any eagles there?
Yeah. One eagle on the roost.
Okay. I can't speak to them right now, so I'll have to do another lap for now.
Okay. So you know there's an eagle's eyrie up this mountain. And these eagles are mountain eagles. Which means that they're sort of whiter in fur, vast wingspans, but much less dangerous than some other eagles. They do a lot less violent attack. You get bored of the... Number 2. As you... quite similar to number 1. As you get up here, and you swirl down beneath the clouds, go ahead and give me...
It's not going well, Maury.
This time you're foiled by something a little different. What the problem with this mountain is there's lots of outcroppings of rock that have lean over the main path and areas. It makes it almost impossible to see the land you would stand on. Instead, you're just seeing the sort of overcropping of various bits of ice and rock. You don't make much out, and you swirl a bit further down to get a clearer view. Go ahead and give me your third perception check.
Okay, for this last one, I'm gonna uncloud myself.
Mid-air?
Well, no. I'll land somewhere tall.
Okay. So just bear in mind that you won't be able to look at the mountain you're on with this check. You'll only be able to look at all the other areas around, because obviously the mountain you're on is now where you're standing, so you can see a small area, but you're on the outcrop rock of a bit of mountain. If you stood here, for example, you wouldn't be able to see around the mountain. But you can
because
get a
I'm
good
not
look
flying.
Well, yeah, exactly. You're not away from the mountain. It's very hard to get an image of a hill when you're stood on it. But go ahead and give me a perception check from where you are.
I can just make myself fly. That's not a problem.
Okay. Yeah, that works. Fly out the way.
And if that wouldn't advantage my next check, I will cast Enhance Ability on myself.
I don't think... Oh, can you fly without concentrating? You can, can't you? Dragonfall. Yeah, go ahead. Or Wisdom.
Oh, yes, that's... yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a perception check.
29 with a nat 20.
Nice. So although you sort of look around the mountain you're on, and you don't really notice anything of much in this bear, but you do, looking out behind you, see the tallest mountain of the peaks, Black as it's known by the dwarves. And glancing at it, you think, that looks a little familiar. Maybe that, like, the way in which the mountain is formed looks... I think perhaps you might have more luck there, but you don't have time to get there right now. You will need to windwalk yourself to get back in time.
Yeah, it'll take a minute for me to turn myself back into a cloud.
Yeah.
So I can just pop there and back.
Oh, is that?
Yeah, I'll post it back in the chat.
Yeah, you can go in and out of cloud.
Until the spell ends.
Amazing.
Oh, yeah, okay, cool. I didn't realize you could go back to cloud form. I thought once you reverted, you were done.
No, I wanted to have a good look around.
Cool. Okay. Yeah. Revert back to cloud form, and you get back to point 0. And we come to Hennick. Hennick, you pick a mountain, drift out toward...
Can you talk while you're a cloud?
The only actions you may take are dashing or reverting to your normal form.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if talking was an action.
Not specifically, but yeah, I'm gonna go with...
Yeah, that's fair. I just, I would have tried my best before we were converted into clouds then, or even take a minute to decloud right now to try to explain to Mike what's going to happen to him.
Oh, of course. Oh, is he clouding as well? Love that.
Yeah, I think he should cloud as well. You can do a bunch of creatures, right? You can do like 10 or something.
Let's go.
Yep.
Why not?
Mike's a cloud.
So, but I'm not going to send him on his own, but I'll take him along with me and sort of try
This
to
is
explain,
true adventure. I become Sky, yes?
Yeah, I mean, I figure of all the people here, actually, you're probably the one most used to becoming something that you didn't used to be. So you should be all right.
A new experience is always good.
And both of us have got kind of, I don't know, stubby legs, and you've got the whole shoe issue. So this will be nice to fly around. But we're just going to be looking out for what we saw in that picture a little while ago.
Beat store. We look for picture. Got it.
Yeah, and then we'll fly over to a mountain.
Okay.
And,
the two of you drift together. You notice that he follows you, sort of 40 or 50 foot behind.
Sure.
And you will notice that his cloud is sort of lazily turning on its back and doing little twists and turns. And you can probably gather from that he's not really attention to anything other than the sensation of being a cloud. And who expected
These
a
things
mushroom to
happen.
do anything else? You, however, are
These
sure very
things happen.
focused on your task.
Did I see in the scrying any particular sorts of vegetation or animals that are not rampant everywhere? Okay, it's fine.
More specifically, you saw that there was none. There was almost
Okay.
no vegetation and certainly no animals, meaning that's how you guys kind of discern it was very high up. So you
Sure.
do know that if you see vegetation or creatures, you're in the wrong place.
Right.
Yeah, so
Sure,
at least that, right? Go ahead and give me your first disadvantaged perception, unless you have a complete
Sure.
advantage.
No, so I thought maybe taking a guy along would even it out, but he's some dumb mushroom, so that's 20 total. Oh, sorry, disadvantage.
Yeah.
No, hold on. I thought I clicked it and I didn't. So let me just roll again. That one's a nat 20, so it really is the 20.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I wonder if you roll a
Ooh.
disadvantage, the halflings have to reroll nat 20s.
I don't think so.
I don't think that's how that works. Anyway, as you drift on over this mountain, you'll notice a couple of things. First of all, you see a large group of creatures that's quite far down on the plains, not actually on the mountain, on the tundra plains, making their way across the land. You would know these creatures to be caribou, a little bit like reindeer. But one thing you do know is that they tend to move large droves during the times of migration. This is not such a time, so they're moving like unexpected. And you see that they are moving away from where you guys have camped and towards the place where you have flown.
Okay. Interesting.
On the mountain itself, you make out very little. The clouds are quite thick, but you still see onto the mountain. It seems to be bare and abandoned. I mean, you really aren't expecting him to be sat on top of a mountain. So as you go a little further down, go ahead and give me your second percent.
All right. Properly do disadvantage this time. Yeah, 11.
Yeah. It's a little difficult to see when you're moving this fast, obviously. But also, this mountain you've chosen sort of has some rocky growths coming out, like bigger mountains, sort of shadowing over little bits of it. Whilst you can't see much, you do remember that there were no shadows overbearing the image that you saw of Plagon, so you assume he's not at this bit of the mountain. As you drift on further down, go ahead.
Having not had much luck yet, I would like to, if I can, land somewhere, sort of cloud arm gesture for Mike to follow me, and land somewhere where I can also see another couple of mountains that other people haven't gone to.
Okay,
If at all
that's
possible.
pretty easy to do. And then once you sort of land there, you look out and there's lots of mountains you haven't been to, so you know you'll be able to see them. There is one that's quite far away from where you are, and one that's quite close. They're not quite twin peaks, but it is pretty close.
So just for the heck of it,
5 or
I
6
want
miles.
to decloudify, and then cast Commune.
Okay.
And essentially ask in sequence, is the Lord anywhere on the mountain I'm on? If not, is he anywhere on that mountain? And is he anywhere on that mountain? Right.
You'll get a no and a no for the one you're on and the one that's close to you. The one further away, you will get no, but he has been.
Interesting.
And for the record, you are looking north from where you are.
Okay.
Which means that... I mean, obviously, this is roughly because there are more mountains than you see in this area.
Yeah.
Because you're at a mountain peak. But effectively, you're standing here and you've looked at this mountain and being told that he has been on that mountain. You know he got lost on the way up to Eladar, so that sort of tells
Right.
you that somewhere up that way, right?
Sure,
Ju-
sure.
Was where
Just
he's
for
going.
reference, is it the same mountain that Rosania identified?
No.
Okay.
You identified the tallest mountain, Gatway.
Okay.
And if
Cool.
he's not looking at that one. You hear the relevant chime, and you return
Yeah.
to camp.
That's fine. Yeah.
On returning to camp, it is... Oh, where have I put you guys? Drop you? Music changed and everything. Where the fuck are we?
I think we're fighting
About to fight
dragons
a
in the
war.
desert. Yeah.
Gotcha. I dropped you off somewhere. Didn't mean to. Yeah, but as you no, that's as you begin to sort of land together, the snow picks up, swells around. You find yourselves at the base of a mountain, with a little space of area to camp. There are a few trees around here. It's getting dark and it's getting very cold. Does anybody have innate cold resistance? Let me just resist cold.
Yes.
This is the opposite.
You do, Rosania?
I will drink the potion of cold resistance
No, I'm just
that
asking
Kiavo
in
gave
general.
me.
No, I just innately does anybody resist it because it just changes the DC. That's all. Okay, cool. So if nobody innately resists cold, wow, Sebastian, really. I'm gonna bring the stream just so that you can see the antics of our cat.
So if we're worried about so we're in like a little cave part, right, of the mountain.
No, you are literally on a flat tundra with some trees around you in between some mountains.
Okay. I mean, okay, that's fine. I was basically thinking about fabricating like the mountain to give us shelter, but I don't know if I can do that much.
You have a tent that makes you immune to cold. I wouldn't worry too much about that.
I know, but still.
All I want to know from you, people, is how you're feeling from your day of cloudiness. So I'll just take a con save from each of you. So this is the reason why I won't let you drink a potion is because it's past tense. This is from being a cloud. Yeah. Please remember you making these rolls at advantage. You had a really hearty dwarven breakfast.
Oh. I'll just roll another
I don't
one.
need another one from you. Your 26 passed by quite a long way. Yeah.
I got a 19.
Yeah. Gavo.
16.
Yeah. Can I have one for Mike, please?
I have no stats for him, but I'll roll whatever you want.
You don't?
No.
I think...
It was a companion.
Does he have disadvantage because he's a mushroom?
No.
Certainly not.
There are a number of things you could use, but we never talked about mechanicalizing him.
Yeah, I mean, I'll just take an awakened pumpkin. You want? He's a bit like
Okay.
a pumpkin. So I will hand him to your extra.
Cool.
This is more just a game how he. But for now, just roll me a d20 with a
Yeah, yeah.
a
of course.
straight d20. I don't think he.
Sure, no problem. Yeah.
He's unlikely to have had a hearty dwarven breakfast.
So he matched me without any bonuses.
Yes, and he has a +2 to con. So you got an 18. I put that away.
And 16 for me.
No extras if you want to refresh your page. I will make a stat block for him in future. But I really just want to know how he's feeling. It's not, this is not a mechanical thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think you're a little chilly. Oh, sorry, am I missing somebody? Sebastian, what did you get?
A 19.
Okay, cool. Yeah, headache, you're feeling a little chilly, a little wearied, but nothing a decent hearty meal won't help. Mike is cold, but he's had so much fun as a cloud. This was best day ever. Much floaty. And he comes over to Rosania and he looks at you. You did? The cloud?
Yes, Mike, it was me.
I fun. You amazing. Big friend. He tries to give you a
Oh,
little hug.
Mike. I'll give him a hug.
But it's fair to say, in this freezing weather, you most probably want to get in out the cold. And what better to get in out the cold in than a magical tent?
Hell yes.
As you set the tent up, you enter into the general area, which is well lit with various bits of cushions and different areas for storing your adventuring gear. Let's get out of the cold.
Oh, sorry, is there a handout?
Pinged it at you.
Oh,
Yeah,
crap, it's not
there's
loading.
nothing in there.
Let me refresh. There's something on the thumbnail, but I can't actually see the image.
Okay, it should be in handouts, tent, general area.
Oh yeah, I can see it now. I refreshed. Yes, we paid a good 200 golds for this image.
Yeah, so as you enter on in... Sorry, my player's just disappearing and reappearing. This tent sort of... You almost throw it and it sort of springs into action. And as you enter on in, it is heartily warm in here. Gently lit with a slight sort of yellow amber lighting. And you see cushions thrown about. There are different chests and shelves for various adventuring gear. And you will see that some of them are actually already... There's some gear there. You know, there is a pickaxe, for example. There is a wood-cutting axe. There is what appears to be a rope hammock rolled up in the corner that could be taken out. Various bits of different lengths of rope. And other such useful adventuring. Wandering further through the tent, you will find yourself looking at a little study area with some screens. There are some areas up the top for hanging various things. There's a couple of maps, one old map of the whole of Beldania, just sort of vague lines of it. And a large chest with full racks next to a desk. And there's a screen and another desk over on the side with some more scroll racks. An area for study, perhaps. There is a pedestal for a crystal ball at the center of the study area, where you could put your crystal ball scrying should you. Those of you more interested in the more local amenities will be able to find what looks like an almost brickwork kitchen stove with various shelves for different ingredients. And whilst you don't find any fresh ingredients here, you will find certain amenities like salt, flour, and other sort of typical things that will last forever, pepper, etc. And Henrik, you will, as you walk in and you go to sort of reach to the counter, the entire room sort of like you've just eaten one of those funny mushrooms in Mario, shrinks down to your size, so that you can reach the counters with ease. I don't know what happens if you and a big person are in the kitchen. You'll have to experiment, or maybe talk to it. You do see a fake window on the wall, but when you go to look out of it, it's not actually the outside. It's just sort of an imaginary vista made by magic. And for those of you who are more interested in getting a knight's kip, you'll find richly appointed rooms with, again, these fake vistas, chandeliers hanging down with great four-poster beds and large rugs, and drapings all about the place. Sebastian, as you enter your own room, you will look up to the picture above the fireplace. The fireplace crackles and gives off heat, but doesn't appear to be actual. You will note that the portrait you see above the fire is in fact the portrait that you saw of yourself in the Collector's Enclave. Most of the rest of you see portraits of random famous people, though Torin, you will acknowledge that the portrait is of your grandfather.
Oh.
It's almost like this tent adapts to your thoughts as you go, but lots of the stuff is genuinely real and tangible, like the bedding, for example, which is nice and as you all convene for a lovely meal at the centre of this tent. Evening cometh. I will let Henrik take an entire week to think about what he will cook. In fact, 2 weeks, because that is where we are going to end. And we will come to the timeless tradition. There we go. I will start where I finished and first two.
Well, obviously, I have to give credit to the satisfaction of my demands that the tent be thorough. So that's worth it there. Mike, I like Mike talking to Rosania. I like that. Just a little bit there at the end. I know it was recent, but yeah, he has. It's just been sort of been like, if I choose to interact with him, fine, he has something to say. But here, sort of making him a little bit more into the group. I I don't like to overwhelm a thing by going like, I can make extra people, so now you've got to deal with this. But it's nice to have a little sprinkled here and there. So.
I like Mike. I'm very attached to him after the thought of him being alone in the world. I got really, I got emotionally invested in Mike, and now I'm emotionally invested in his lack of shoes.
Yeah. Well, we can assume I'm always on the lookout for a suitable friend if I find one before going back to his land one day.
Of course. Next, Rico? No.
I was first.
Bruno.
Of course, my MVP is Mike. His little hug at the end melted my heart, and I love him. If anything happens to him, I will brutally murder the entire party if I have to bring him back.
Good.
Wow.
I enjoy him. Josh.
I'll
no,
put
Jamal.
Mike ahead of all of you.
Jamal.
I'm gonna have to give it to the tent here. The tent was a fantastic purchase. It was incredibly descriptive and fancy and beautiful, and well, never has anyone ever had a tent so grand and great in their entire time of being. So, yeah, the tent is a winner.
It's a house.
Obviously, it will also. There is a slight mechanical benefit to it, in that some of you pursue trades that wouldn't really be doable at sort of the side of a tent outside. But perhaps if you're inside and you're wanting to do alchemy, or you're wanting to do leather working, or anything like that, weaving and tea making, or whatever else anybody decides to take up or whittle away their time with, this is a lot more of a sensible place to do it. So yeah, Josh.
So mine goes to the old wizard at the beginning who just, modifies his memory and gets whores, just very interchangeable sentences. That was just very funny.
He's one of my characters I've been waiting to bust out for a while, and I thought, why not? Let's have a look.
I feel like he should just modify his memory to think that he's gone to see a whore.
He's called Desert,
my
if
God.
anybody's interested, and he is
Give him the
one
chlamydia.
of the masters of transport. But yeah, I've been waiting to bust him out for ages, so I was really happy when you guys decided to go to Mage's Guild for transport. Rico.
I had two. Windwalk was super cool.
Mhm.
The whole idea of turning into a cloud and spying on giants. Very cool. And the second one is this idea in my head now that Torin is gonna fit Mike's first pair of shoes and like tailor them and just like
Looking
it's
forward
so
to it.
cute.
You need to get yourself
Yeah.
some leather. I think you
Yeah.
probably got some actually, and just carrying around.
Oh, I have some leather.
Yeah, I've got a few. I will acknowledge though that the more power that you give the players, the less they know what to do with it. As soon we're in a city, and it's like if you guys were level 3, you had to prepare for the coming of a duke. Right? You would have gone and spoke to the natural people and been like, right, where are the points of pressure? Who can we chat to? Who's in charge? Who's harassing the men? Right? We would have known what to do. You do it at level 6 or 7. Start to do that, but using like suggestion or thinking, maybe we can take a man out. As soon as you hit level 12, it's like, maybe we could flood him. Maybe we can bite him with rats. Can we flood the whole arena? Can we set him on fire? Can we, make this happen, make that? I have no idea what to do with our powers whatsoever. I love the poor Torgros was flooded, ratted, and closeted. And sent to another plane of existence, who knows. I love it when you were like, oh yeah, you guys have all got different things you can do on the mountain. And Rico's return was, Torin, big and strong. Which I really enjoyed. But I just love the excitement of the other 4 players when Daddy Hennick finally caved in and bought the team tent.
Hell yes.
It's just this moment of, please, can we have
Hell
it?
yeah.
Please. Fine. Yay! It was just so much like that. It was great. I really enjoyed that whole interaction. It's about time you guys spent some money on something pointless and frivolous. There is very little of any power that would assist you available anywhere, so yeah. Really enjoyed it. We are away next session. Josh and I are in. We'll be returning the following week. In the meantime, if you guys would like to say goodbye,
Bye.
Bye now.
we shall see you soon.